Hey everybody, get on in here. I was taking a nap and my alarm went off. Anyway, come on in. Yeah, I got the yawns. It's rainy and nasty. It's dark out. I'm so sick of it. I haven't been able to have a show outside with a cup of tea in a month, and it's driving me nuts. But you make hay while the sun shines, and when the sun isn't shining, you curl up on the couch and you have you a little nappy poo. That's all you can do. Anyway, get on in here. My sister says get on in here too. As I think the couch is still calling my name. We'll do a quick show and then we'll all come up with something else to do. Been working hard today. But I had a little story to tell you. Yeah, I was telling this to Esther earlier today after I got off our morning show. And she wanted to know how I met Robert. And I said, well, Esther, here's how I met Robert. I quit looking for the one. I quit looking for Robert. I quit looking for somebody special to spend the rest of my life with because I'm not a good picker. God knows that. So what I did was I moved to North Carolina in 1994, in October of 94. We had a huge flood that fall. And I mean, it was a bad flood. And I moved up here with my second husband, who will remain nameless because he was an idiot. But we had our first fight, our very first fight. And he packed up his crap and left. Now, God gives you little signs all along the way if somebody's not the right person for you. You get signs, but we as women are going to make it work, aren't we? We're determined to make the relationship work. Well, it doesn't take... One person can't make a relationship work, that's for certain. So when we don't even think of number two, Robert and I don't even think of number two as a second marriage because it lasted less than 8 months. I had to stay married to him longer than I actually lived with him because of state laws in North Carolina. You have to be separated for a full year before you can even go about getting a divorce. So he left, and I just said, okay, God. I threw my hands up in the air. I said, I'm done. You brought me to North Carolina for a reason. I don't know what it was. I have no clue what it was. But I'm going to stick around and see what you got planned for me. And I quit looking. It took a year to get a divorce. And I got a divorce in August the 9th of the next year. Took a year. And I didn't meet Robert until August the 22nd of that year. Yeah, August the 22nd. It took over a year to get a divorce. And I didn't meet Robert until August the 22nd of 1996. And I had quit looking, totally quit looking. I didn't date, didn't do anything. I just went to work, took care of myself, and said, okay, I know you got a plan. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be good, because my granny always said, if you do what's right, God will take care of you. And there on August the 22nd, I was standing in a little coffee shop, and Robert came in with he had a piece of something this color. It was peach colored. And it was a campaign. It was a campaign placard that he was going to hand out. And he let my friend Nilsa look at it. And Nilsa handed it to me and said, well, what do you think about it? And what it said was, ask anybody in the court system what they think about my job as a judge. Just ask anybody. If they tell you I'm not a good judge, then fine. Don't vote for me. But if they say I am, vote for me. So I asked him if he was going to put out yard signs, because I hated yard signs. I lived up a mountain, and it was 78 curves up to my house, and there were yard signs all along the way to the point, and it was this national forest. And he says, no, I don't believe in yard signs. So I stuck my hand out, and I shook his hand, and I said, I'll vote for you. And sure enough, I did. I voted for him. And he was just a fine man. And so he said to me, you know, I said to him, I know your wife. And he said, my ex-wife. And because I had worked with her one summer. And I said, yeah, I house sat for her last week. And he says, how's my dog Snap? Because she got the dog in the divorce. And I said, well, Snap's kind of a funny dog. And he said, yeah. But he was a three-legged dog. And Robert loves all animals. And he said, I miss Snap. He said, but, you know, call me sometime. I'm in the book. And we'll go have dinner. This is on our first meeting. So, next 2 or 3 days, I looked up in the phone book and I asked Robert if he wanted to go to Silvermont. They have Picking and Grinning Day on Thursday night. And he says, well, I can't. I've been playing chess with the same guy for the past 22 years, and I don't miss chess on Thursday night. He's a good old mountain man, and I don't miss chess. And I said, okay. I said, how about Friday night? And he said, okay, I'll meet you downtown. So I met him downtown, and we had dinner at this little corner bistro that is now a real estate office. And we had the awfulest soup I've ever tasted. It was spinach lentil soup. Oh my goodness. It was awful. Awful. We had to put so much hot sauce in it. It was terrible. But it was the only thing that had any taste to it. And then we had dinner. I think I paid for dinner. And then we went back to the coffee shop and we played Scrabble with a couple other people. Do not play Robert Silly. Scrabble. The man is a crossword puzzle fanatic. And you just don't play him in Scrabble. So while we're playing Scrabble, I had just taken a forestry class, and I had to learn how to spell a bunch of trees. And those are the one words I could spell, and they were in my mind, so I could spell all these different tree words. And he said, you seem to know a lot about trees. And I said, well, I just took this forestry class. He said, there's a tree in town that I can't identify. And I said, really? So I said, well, we should go see it sometime. He said, how about tomorrow? This was Friday night. So I said, I can't go tomorrow. I'm going hiking. I'm doing a mushroom hike in the forest. And so I went on this mushroom hike. I had on Carhartt shorts, hiking boots with wool socks, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt that was white, but it had puffy mushrooms on it. I don't know where I got it or why I even had it. But I had this mushroom shirt on. He said, why don't you call me when you get back from the hike and we'll go have some lunch. I owe you lunch because you paid for dinner last night. So we met at Julie's Subs, which is right next door to where our office was several years later. That was right next door. And we had sandwiches, and we went uptown, and he showed me this tree, and I couldn't identify it. Not at all. Could not identify it. So we grabbed a limb off the tree, and he said, we had a brand new arboretum on the Blue Ridge Parkway. He said, why don't we go over to the arboretum and see if there's somebody over there that can identify it? I said, well, that's a great idea. We went to the college and we looked in the reference library at trees and we couldn't identify it. And so we ended up at the arboretum, at which point it was a Saturday afternoon in July, in August, and while we were inside, it came a terrible thunderstorm. I mean, the bottom dropped out. And we have to run to the car, and we get soaking wet, at which point he says to me, you want to go see a movie? And I just died laughing. I said, looking like this? I mean, it was wet t-shirt contest time. Looking like this? And he just said, yeah, nobody see you in the movie. I said, no. I don't think we can go see a movie. And he said, well, how about some ice cream? So we went and got some ice cream at Biltmore Dairy, which was just across the way a little bit. And then I said, how about me cook you something? And he said, well, I said, we can go back, we can stop and get some groceries. And he said, I don't have a lot of food at home. You know, I've been divorced for over a year. I've been separated for over a year. He just got a divorce too. And he said, you know, I know where we can get, I said, do you like pasta? And he said, yeah. I said, well, let's go get some pasta and some stuff to make dinner. So we got some clams and some scallops, some linguine, got a bottle of white wine to cook with, and a bottle of red wine, and neither one of us drink to amount to anything, but I was going to make this wine sauce, and some onions and pasta and a salad, and we put together, I mean, he had one pot and one little skillet. That's all he had. So I had to boil pasta in a 1-quart pot for 2 people. It was not pretty. But I used his one butt kitchen, and we had the best time. Where the kitchen sink is right now, we sat out on the porch and we talked for hours. And then we come in the house and the phone rings, and it's his sister. And she wants to know if he wants to go on a hike tomorrow. Now, I had left my car at Ingles at the grocery store. And I looked at him and I said, I need to get back to my car, but I don't drink and drive. And I've got to go 78 curves up the mountain. He said, well, why don't you just crash here? And then tomorrow morning we'll get up. I'll take you to your car. You can get ready and we'll go on a hike. And we went to Spruce Pine on a hike, which was wonderful because I love to hike. And went to a feldspar mine. It was a cave. I love caves. And that night, well, I slept on the couch. He slept in the bedroom, and his cat slept with me. And I'd never been around a cat before. And when he took me to my car and for me to get dressed, change clothes, he got to meet Lucy, my dog. So if my dog Lucy hadn't have liked him, I probably wouldn't have gone on the hike. But Lucy loved him. So we went on this hike. We stopped and got German food on the way home, which German food is still a big food. We love German food. And we had the best time. The best time ever. When I got home that night, I called my sister Patty and I said, Sister, I'm going to marry Robert. And she says, No, you're going to jinx it. I said, no, I'm going to marry him. And sure enough, in 6 weeks, we were engaged because he said, okay, this is looking a lot like marriage. And I said, do you feel the same way? And he said, yeah. And he said, well, what kind of engagement ring do you want? And I said, I don't need an engagement ring. He said, oh, yes, you need a token of my affection. And he went to the jewelry store and he spent a lot of hours picking out the right diamond, and then he picked out a mounting for that diamond, and I never take them off. I can, but I don't ever take them off. But I knew right then that it was right, that I was gonna. How you remember? How you remember the details? Well, those aren't all the details, but that's the quick version, and it was just. It was meant to be. And when you stop, this is the story I want to tell you. This is the reason behind me telling you this story. When you stop looking, when you stop trying to make things work because you're a control freak, and when you do what's right, God will take care of you. You just have to let go of your control freakiness and let God do it. And He will send you that perfect person for you. Yeah. A lot of times in fear, we will just settle. We don't have to settle. God's got this. He has got this. And now I have the most wonderful life with the sweetest man. There's a cat at my door that spoils me rotten. And we enjoy life together. Who better to be in quarantine with than your sweet darling? So let go of your control. You know, like Jesus Take the Wheel, that song by Carrie Underwood. Jesus Take the Wheel. Let it go. Stay focused on taking care of you, taking care of your family, and doing what's right. And it's amazing what's going to come. Amazing. We've been married 23 years. And in November, it'll be 24. It's a beautiful life together. But you have to quit trying to make it work. Because God sends you signs all along the way. Little red flags that go up that say, oh, this isn't working. And I caught him messing around on me. And he says he's sorry. Or he hit me that one time and he'll never do it again. Recognize the signs when they happen and get determined to do what's right and take care of you. Well, y'all, I think I'm going to go back to the couch. Hope you enjoyed my little story. But remember, God's got your back. But you got to have His too. You got to give up with the perfectionism. You got to let go of your control freak. Because that's what it is. Your perfectionism is causing you to be a control freak. And try to make everything work. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And it's not your fault. It's God trying to show you the way. I love you all. I will see you later. Bye.